Just started here just to make sure that we are good in the group.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if you feel like having this on while I work, see if anything comes out of it worthwhile. But if you do, it's there. It just needs to be turned up.
Yeah.
Okay. So we are getting set up, you guys. We'll give everybody a few moments to come in since this is the first day that we've done it in this group. Let's see here. We're going to be doing some readings, and you know, if you do have questions for you, that's fine, but we are going to keep it a little to what you guys voted for in the poll, which was unsolved crimes and so forth, and I really do kind of like that. That's kind of my thing. 1 second, we good? Okay, so just double checking everything was set and ready to go. So if you don't know me, my name is Scarlet Raven, and I am a physical medium. So that means I pick up spirit in a lot of different ways, and a lot of times it's very physical. The true crime thing has been a thing for me because I myself have been the victim before, and also I'm one of those people that tend to just miss things happening just like that. It's like in Colorado, how many times did we have a bridge that fell apart that almost landed on me?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and especially with like the true crime thing, I remember once I was out doing some, hello, Mahi came to say hi, some errands, and I had to pull over because I got this like intense pain in my back and I couldn't figure it out. I was just like, that's weird. And I thought, well, maybe it is me because it was Colorado. It was weird. And then I think I had called you and was like, yeah, I'm on my way to do this or whatever. And then I did it, and I came back on the same route because that was the only route back and forth. And it did it again on the way back. And then I called you on the way back because I had stopped then as well. And that's when you asked me where I was, and there was that fire that happened.
Oh, in the building, the like office building situation.
And like they were still, it was so fresh, they were still going through, I don't know, what do you call the wreckage? Rubble.
Yeah.
And looking, come to find out, they were going through all of that and looking for someone that worked in that building, and they ended up finding the body, I think, the day after that.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I was feeling basically like the building came down on my back, and, you know, I was hearing things like saying, gosh, what was it? It was like I didn't want my family to think I did what everybody I knows do. I didn't want them to think I just left, and come to find out, the man who died was in a wheelchair, and he basically got pinned in and died that way, but he was also a counselor for drug and alcohol types, for those types of vices and issues, and I'm sure he dealt a lot with the people just disappearing from their family.
Mm.
You know, like going on benders or
Gotcha.
just disappearing.
So he wasn't trying to, like, he was worried that everybody thought he just went off the horse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or, you know, and I didn't get too far with it because I didn't know that's what he did. And by the time I went back, it was like, you're at peace now. You said what you needed to say, and so I'm not going to bring you back just to be nosy and ask more questions. But it's really interesting how that really goes, come to find out, with his line of work. And it was, gosh, it was actually my counselor at that time that told me that he was a counselor, that knew he was a counselor, because she knew him from being in the industry. So it was really interesting to find that out, and that, you know, he was carrying those worries over for his loved ones and didn't want that to be what they thought of. Okay.
Looks like we have a comment here.
Perfect.
Carolyn asks, sister's death, herself or niece kill her? Still new. It's a little cryptic. So I would say I would understand that as did she kill herself or did the niece kill her?
Are we looking to find out basically if it was a self-inflicted? You know, it's definitely fresh. I can really feel that it's been. You're not helping. You've got the separation right now, and it's kind of like, the best way to put it is a church and state separation.
Okay.
Everybody has their exact idea of what happened, and they're not budging from it. It's this way or that way. Has she said anything else on what is she? Now, there's the tension that obviously you're going to have with a death, but this has caused even more of a separation in the family, and that is one thing that she's very, very sad about, that it caused that, and doesn't want to be the fault of that, and feels very guilty for that. But there's a lot there, and I don't feel that she was murdered. And again, I'm a psychic. I'm not always right. These are just the feelings I'm getting, the things I'm hearing. I do get the feeling that there was a lot of involvement from everybody around her, but that was the input she was receiving. That was just everything that was going on around her. So I really do truly feel that it was her. Now let me get my dowsing rods out here, because Mahi is going after those. Anything comment from her? Okay.
We do have the other comment from the post that we'll get to here.
So these are dowsing rods, and what happens is spirit moves these, and they will go inward for yes, and they will go outward for no. I'm holding them now because they actually swing. So I'm not holding them in any way to make them move. They just actually kind of swing around on their own. And I basically want to know if I'm correct in feeling the way I am about who caused this death. Thank you. Can you go back to neutral, please? There we go. Perfect. So I really feel they felt the confusion as well. It was really interesting to see how they moved on their own and how they were swayed.
Carol just replied, they tell different stories.
Yeah. I don't, honestly, as hard as it is to say, the exact truth itself, it is so manipulated in all the different stories, and everybody is so sure about their exact story and their exact line on it that no one's budging. So at this point, she wants you to honor her. She wants you to just be free and grow and be better than any of this and be what she always railed against, I'm hearing. So being what she was so against and what she didn't want in the universe, in the world, just be what she wanted, and she's happy. She's happy that anybody carries her memory with them.
She just commented as well, I am in New Hampshire and they are at home in Texas.
Texas. And I can also do a little more. If you do want to go a little further into it, you can send me your picture and I can do some more channeling and find some more information. But just doing a little kind of once over, it really feels that, this sadly was a self-inflicted, but it definitely didn't help that she had outsiders kind of pushing in. So that's why the rods are kind of like, well, there's a lot of influence, and it's very, very sad, and I'm so sorry for your loss. That's hard.
Yeah, especially when the family or outside influences start saying things. I don't really like to comment on these things. It's almost to the point where people say something so much they start to believe it.
Yeah.
Not just yes themselves, and you say it enough, you're gonna believe it.
Yeah.
You're not sick. You're not sick. You're not sick. No, you're not sick. Whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
They were mean to her, so that's not fun.
Yeah, that's not needed. You go be the best human you can be. You go be happy. Show everyone kindness. Show everyone love. She keeps talking about flowers, so there's like a purple wildflower or something. It's like purple or light blue. What's in Texas? It's like purple, light blue. I don't know, but there's like.
I mean, we saw so many wildflowers out towards the southern part of Texas.
True, we did. We saw, when we were out there. Totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
So there's like a light purple or light bluish kind of wildflower that she absolutely loved, but she loved flowers in general. Just any random pretty flowers, even if it was a weed, she didn't care. So.
Yes.
Okay, so she's with you, she loves you, and the pain that you go through wondering and kind of tossing it around, not even worth it. Use your energy otherwise, and remember the flowers and her hugs. Perfect. Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And again, I'm so sorry for your loss, hon.
Kristen replied to the announcement post, please ask about Harmony Montgomery and baby Isla, if I'm saying this, Ayla, from Maine. Just found out that Harmony was murdered and I go out searching for her remains. I'd love some ideas of where to look for her. Wow, okay.
That's, I'm actually going to grab something for that. I'll be right back, you guys.
Don't touch anything.
Right? Don't touch anything. Oh, forgot the Orbeez too. I got them now. Okay, kitty. We're going to be doing some pendulum action here, so you need to move. But I did forget to show you guys. We had a super fun day the other day. And I collected a bunch of Orbeez for you guys. They're super cute. Hopefully you can see them. He's outside. But yeah, they're Orbeez. They're super cute. They're in their own little house, so they won't fly away. Let's see here. So, now with the pendulum, it's just like the other one. And I'm not going to be able to have you guys see exactly. You'll be able to see, but I'll tell you where it's going because we don't have the camera set overhead. But this is definitely a pendulum question, and I have a feeling there's going to be a month that is very, very important to this case. So I'm going to ask it, and I'll show you what I use. I have my mat right here. Is that good? Height-wise?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. And it has all sorts of different things. Well, I'm going to ask because I have a feeling there's going to be a month that's really, really important for this case. Something's got to give. Let's see what it says. So, what month is important with this case? So it's literally in between October and September. So it's literally hitting right on the spot right in between them, which is really interesting. So there's going to be developments, there's going to be some movement then. And so were we looking at where? Let's see here. Now I'm going to use my other one, which has more alphabet and so forth. And I'm also going to ask my dowsing rods, not pendulum. Okay, so I have yes, no's, maybes. I'm going to ask here. Will there be something coming forward in an investigation in September, October time? And for those that can't see, which is everyone, it went to yes. So I just wanted to kind of verify that. Now, the track where you guys are looking right now, I'm feeling is something that definitely feels right, but it feels like you're striking out. So let's see here. The current track that they're on right now, is that where they need to be looking? Ooh, that's a resounding yes.
That's good.
That's very good. So you guys, and as sad as it sounds, I'm not happy about it, but obviously you're happy when you can make a conclusion that you're on the right track. I feel like you just need to stick to your guns on this spot in this general area and really push, because I really have a feeling this is going to be kind of where you guys get some more information, get that break that you need in that case. Okay. Now, I'm going to ask the pendulum, are they on the right track they need to be on? And yes, said that. So, we got a yes on both ways.
Okay.
So I truly feel that it's going to happen before the holidays, of course, and it's always had no matter when, but there's going to be some sort of development, and it's not, obviously, it's the universe, it has its own plan. I don't know whether it's going to be finding evidence or more than that. Okay. Anybody else? Okay, so I guess
we'll work on, let's start, once we have more people jumping in, let me message, or let me, really? Come on. Let me jump over here. So, let's talk about some local stuff.
okay.
And what we have here is an unsolved case from March of 2019. Looks like a young man by the name of Gage Jackson. Last seen in the area of Washington Loop Road in Punta Gorda, which is just south of our location, on the evening of March 19th, 2019. 11 days later, voters spotted a body just south of the Prairie Creek Bridge. The body was identified shortly after as 19-year-old Gage Jackson on March 30th. So basically trying to find out who did it.
Well, I definitely can say while you're reading that, I could taste blood in my mouth. It definitely was pretty violent, but it was very quick. So, I mean, as bad as that sounds, at least it was quick. There's definitely been some questions on whether it was suicide or possibly just partying with his friends, because I have a feeling he was kind of a partier. I haven't seen his picture, but you're over there looking at that, so. But he definitely had a partier streak in him, as most late teenagers do. And so that was obviously one of the first things they came up with, and that's not correct, and it wasn't self thing. So it definitely is a whodunit, and it was pretty violent. I definitely get the feeling it was someone in his age bracket. Let me grab the dowsing rods. Was the killer in his age bracket? Definitely. And I don't think this was random. There's definitely someone with some jealousy that still kind of putting that out in the universe, even though he's not even alive. They're still putting it out there. There's jealousy, but people didn't realize that he actually kind of had a hard go at it. They think, how do I word that? People feel like he had a better life than he really did, and it wasn't because he made them feel that way. It's just everyone thought. One of those people, everybody thought everything was perfect for him.
Probably might have put on a front, as younger people do.
Yeah. And he had to, because he was going through some stuff, and that made people think, oh, he's never had any problems in his life, but he was going through a lot more than people really knew. And he didn't want to trouble people with that either. He was just like, that's my problem, it's not theirs, so why would I do that? So, I feel like he's a very good kid that, obviously he's a kid, 19, pre-COVID. Be able to go have fun, and literally we categorize things as pre-COVID now.
Yeah.
And,
BC, AD.
Right. So I truly feel that, as sad as it sounds, it definitely was pretty violent, and it was pretty personal. Okay.
Let's see. Someone asked, who killed the Black Dahlia?
Oh, Lord. Okay. Trust me, we all want to know. So, this is going to require some help from you. Since I'm going to be in, I'm going to see what letters it lands on here.
Okay.
So, and then you can decipher it, because I'm going to be kind of in. Okay, we would like to know the first initial of the person who's responsible for the death of the Black Dahlia, please. Okay, hold on. I know you have a lot to pick from. It's really switching here. I wish you guys could see it. Next time we'll set up for just this so that we do that. But R.S.T., what was the doctor's name?
So, just for clarity and full disclosure, I know it's obviously a high-profile case, and many, many things have been written about it. There's shows. There's a terrible movie.
Is the movie terrible?
I remember. I think it was like a super sleeper.
I was scared to watch it, because what if it was a scary movie? And there I go again, Poltergeist all over again, and bad.
So real quick, somebody else. We're getting some high profile here. Who killed JFK? His own government.
Oh, Lord. Okay. This true crime group became a whole new animal.
Right? Yeah. Careful. But yeah, I personally do not know.
I don't know any of the specifics. Can you Google quick?
Yeah, so we're going to go to the Google
Black Dahlia doctor and see what his name is. Because I know the main guy that they're looking at was actually a doctor. I think. I probably shouldn't quote things, because I don't know what. But see, this is why I love true crime, because I know so much about it, but I don't. So I don't feel like, oh, it's because I already knew that.
George Hodel.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, I'm going to have to do some... Did you write that down? RST and Black Dahlia?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to look up those initials and see where any of those kind of lay with it. If there's anybody by those names in the case, basically. And let you guys know what I find. And if you guys want to look it up, go ahead, fact check me, please. Because I want to know. So, we're gonna do JFK.
No. I appreciate the ask.
Are we gonna get into politics?
No, we are not. We are avoiding politics, but that is definitely.
I mean, we can
political.
do. Was there only one shooter? We'll
There
do
you
that.
go.
We'll do that.
There you go.
I want to keep it as politic free as possible, just because I don't want any arguments, and I really love how it's totally chill still in the group. But we all do want to know. Okay, was there only one shooter in the JFK shooting? That would be a yes.
Okay.
Hold on. Is it a book depository?
Yes.
Okay. See? I don't know everything. Okay. Was it from the shot from the book depository? Oh, see? Even the dowsing rods are like, we're not getting political. I would say that would be the extent of our JFK questions. Spirit said, nope, we're not answering that.
Only because we're giving off those vibes that we don't want to necessarily get political.
I think so. You know, the energy definitely plays in it a lot, and our spirit guides are like, yes, please don't get political.
Okay, let's go back to some local stuff here, which potentially we can help. This is all listed on the Southwest Florida Crime Stoppers.
Oh, okay.
I
wondered if it was Crime Stoppers or the...
So they're mainly asking these are all found people, and that sounds, I'm trying to look for a name that I can actually pronounce. And
That's one thing out here. We have so many different heritages and cultures, and all these come with these names that are, it's really interesting to be like, okay, well, that one kid that you met, you're like, where's that from?
oh
'Cause
god,
I don't even remember what it was now, the name, or how to say the
I
name.
can't even remember. It was definitely interesting.
Yeah, and he didn't expect him to come back because I remember he was like, "Oh, what's your name?" Like,
Yeah.
Well, it's not Ben.
Yeah.
I don't have a white guy name. I promise.
So this is an older one, and this will be kind of interesting to see how it connects. May 18th, 1992, Lee County Sheriff's Office responded to Santos Road, Fort Myers Beach. That's, again, south of us. In reference to a deceased subject. Subject was identified as William Peterson, white male with a date of birth September 25th, 1945. Detectives were contacted and they assumed the investigation. Death was determined to be a homicide. Case remains unsolved.
Do you have does it have a picture on there?
Uh-huh.
Is it lighter colored brown hair?
It looks like he has darker hair, yes.
Okay, but not like black.
It's a photo from probably before 1992.
Interesting.
So
it's hard to tell.
Not the best photo, but obviously he's a white male.
Well, before he
Caucasian
passed,
male.
he had something going on with his heart.
Okay.
A heart condition, had some issues with it, because I felt a lot of tightness, literally just right there. It was nothing that was actually diagnosed, but it was there. Let's see here. There's something about his vehicle that I want to ask. Was his vehicle found? Yes. Okay, so what we're going to do after this is kind of look up the case a little bit and see what it says about the vehicle, and then also, did he have heart problems before his death? So yes. Okay, definitely channeling, getting him through. There definitely was some alcohol in his life, and was able to kind of come back from that, get his life kind of figured out, go from there. Always was one of those kind of job to job kind of guys, would go where the work was, even if it was just a temporary job on a construction site, would go there and do those quick jobs. Was the perpetrator someone he knew? No. Okay, so I have a feeling this was a crime of opportunity. Can you go back to neutral, please? Go back to neutral, please. There we go. Okay. Was this a crime of opportunity? Wrong place, wrong time, easy victim. Okay. Go back to neutral, please. Thank you. So yeah, that's what I feel on that one. Feel like it just was one of those wrong place, wrong times. Yeah. And one of these times we'll have a post where we share our true crime close calls, because I'm sure everybody has had them in the group, and it's always interesting, and that way we can put out in the world that we're so happy that we are safe, we're here today with each other, and we're experiencing life with each other. That's always a good thing to put out into the universe. And let's see here. So
let's see if we can find anything more recent. I mean, that's terrible to say, but
I mean, we can do them if you want to.
I mean, we can try if you want.
Yeah.
Since we're here.
I do have a connection with a case that one started kind of out here.
Before we go any further, Danielle, who posed the question for JFK, replied back, okay, serious question, please. Lauren Spear, forgive me for butchering this name. And then we just got another one here. Lauren, Lauren, Spire, Spierer, of Bloomington, Indiana. What happened to her? It's
definitely a lot of information with this one I'm getting. There was a lot of trauma. There was a lot of things that happened, and we're not going to go into all of those, but it was a very long list of things, and sadly it was one of those that was very, very rough and very difficult. Who did this is never going to come forward. Someone's going to have to force them to. It's going to be one of those where even the guilt doesn't even wear on them. And I say them because I have a feeling there's more than one person involved in the bad part. I mean, it's all bad, but the really bad part, there's more than one person involved, and neither one of them are feeling a slight bit of guilt or remorse to... Sometimes you get that where they come forward
out of guilt.
or kind of go back to the crime scenes out of guilt or trying to relive that moment because they need that energy. But I don't feel these ones need that. They're completely content with what they've done.
Danielle replied, yes, group of guys.
Yeah.
So you can obviously answer this maybe to hopefully clarify for Danielle the trauma of the death or the trauma before death.
A little bit of both.
Okay.
There's a little bit of both, and I got goosebumps. I hate saying it, but there was a little bit of both. But right now she's okay. She's okay.
Yeah.
And she knows that people are gonna fight for her and push and know and find out. And she's more than ready to come through and say, hey, this is what's up. So just know, don't think about what the process was, what happened, anything. Just know that she's okay now, and she'll never be hurt again.
Unfortunately, that's the
that's
one
the hard
good
part
side of it.
Yeah, and the hard part too.
Vanessa asks, what did Chris Watts say to Shanann Watts while he was killing her?
So I saw a blip. I don't remember when it was, like a little passing blip. I guess he was telling stories to people in jail, but I don't know how. I guess he was supposed to be
No contact, solitary. Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know if maybe they took him out or what they're doing. Who knows? They're not going to tell us exactly what they're doing with these people, you know. And basically what everybody expects that he told her. He was doing what he wanted with who he wanted, and there was more people than just the one that he was messing around with. There was quite a few that were just random hookups. So this wasn't a new thing for him. It was a new thing for her to finally figure out that he was doing it. And yeah, I don't want to repeat the words that I hear that he spoke to her, because no one, let alone no man, should ever speak to any woman like that, or anybody. But, you know, yeah, there's definitely some very, very cold, very cutting words that happened there, and there was no shame in what he did. He just was going to do what he wanted with their relationship, basically. Like, I'm going to go do what I want with who I want, and that's it. And it's like a teenager that knows no discipline, tact, discipline, anything. And it's
how to adult.
Yeah, it's like talking to a spoiled little 5-year-old that was like, well, I took all the candy because I wanted it. Well, that's not how it works, especially when you're supposed to be an adult.
Yeah.
You know, and we lived out there in Colorado when that happened.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think that was the first thing I told you. Was like, nope. As soon as he showed his face, nope.
Yeah, he's the one. Yeah.
Yep, he did it. I know he did it. And we don't even do cable. We don't watch the news because, one, it's just depressing. And you get all the news you need on Facebook, you know? And we lived out there, so it was all over out there. And
yeah, I hate saying it, but in the mass shooting capital of the world, that Colorado has become, this got more press, I think, due to the calculated brutality of the situation. Mm-hmm. Because any jackass can go get a gun and shoot up a movie theater, a grocery store, a schools.
Yeah.
And as bad as it sounds, especially in Colorado, that's been
the normal.
A norm.
Yeah.
One of the many, many, many reasons why we moved from that
Yeah.
that state.
It's been accepted.
It's
Like,
almost
oh,
yeah,
it happened again. Okay, well, let's talk about it for 1 or 2 days, put up a memorial, and then we'll clean up the blood, and you'll go to school here in the next couple days.
Yeah,
you know,
you can resume your regularly scheduled shopping.
Yeah, and I think what it was the brutality, and not only was it kids, but it was his own children, and it was an unborn child, a pregnant woman, and it was the coldness, you know, just how, like, California. Who's the one that did it in California? Scott Peterson?
Oh,
That one-
Lacey Peters.
Yeah, that one gripped the world.
Yeah.
Because she is pregnant, and it was another one of those, I gotta have somebody else. Well, this is how I'm gonna do it. Are you kidding me? Talk about the easy way out.
Yeah, like
You know, Colorado, honestly, it's a self-divorce state. They could have really just signed the papers and been done. But he didn't want to have to deal with the repercussions of an actual divorce.
yeah.
The paperwork, the cost, the everything.
Yeah, because getting caught and getting thrown into jail is so much better than
So much
a
easier.
clean cut divorce.
Right?
That literally might take 45 minutes. You
Yeah.
know?
You walk in the door of a courthouse with signed papers in Colorado, you can be divorced.
Yeah. And, you know, the stories that came out of that, you know, whatever got spun by the neighbors, the family, and things like that could be, you know, that was just more media fodder.
Oh, yeah.
And Nicole's here. Just
Hi, Nicole.
She made sure to let us know that she's here.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
We forgot the red carpet.
So, not to make light of that situation, and Vanessa asked one more question. Did Chris Watts kill Cece and Bella before or after Shanann Watts' order of...
Yes. So I will give you what I have heard and received over the time since this has happened. And like I said, we were out there in the area. I've actually gone to the house. That was an experience in itself. What I was hearing, what I was getting from the other side is, yes, they were first. When she came home, that was already done. Now, in a way, for a mother, you kind of hope in a way. Maybe it was done and she had no idea. You know, maybe she was left that moment to not have to see that. But definitely, I will say that the little girls had their time before she did. And I want to ask the Rods, were the Watts girls the first? Yes. And I always have a feeling, it's so funny. I'll have to show you, but I did watch, you know, some of the shows on it because, one, it was out there in Colorado. And two, we knew so many people that worked in the oil fields and stuff that I was like, wait, what if we know somebody? And so I was doing that, but also like during some of the, I think it was the Netflix one that they did the show for Netflix. Literally, you watch, they had the interrogation video, and they would mention certain things, and that interrogation video would kind of stutter out and stop. And I'll have to actually play it and kind of record it and make a video on it, because it's really interesting to me, the timing. Obviously anything being said is going to be said about her or the babies or the girlfriend or whatever, but the timing and the words, and when cameras in police offices, let alone, what is it, Firestone? Is it Firestone?
Yeah, I think so.
They have a nice system there.
You would think so. I mean,
they're close enough to.
They could interview. You probably get a better video from your phone than some of the closed closed circuit TV feeds. Like, really, guys?
But this one, it's like, it's clear. You can see, you can make out tattoos, all that. But the video screen literally kind of tweaks out when certain things are said. And I really want to let's see what you guys think too. Look into that and be like, okay, this is interesting, because every single other one I've seen, when they're not saying those certain words, or, he's not saying certain things, a lot of it is when he starts to avoid, is when it's like,
it glitches out.
and it's almost like she's saying, come on, dude.
Yeah,
say it.
Fess up.
Say it. You did it. Say it.
We're kind of on this whole Chris Watts thing, which I think, and obviously it's one person here, Vanessa's asking, is it true that Shanann is now doing spirit guide work on the other side? I'll answer this in the sense that once people cross over, they can become spirit guides. Anybody can be a spirit guide. Your dog that passed away 10 years ago could be a guide. I mean, it's not going to, I'm trying not to make light of this situation. It's not going to, tell you in depth.
He lives with me. He deals with a lot of what Spirit says, so.
and me being the skeptic, the prove to me skeptic, that, I got to see it. It has to manifest. It has to be clear as a bell, in my ears, to be, okay, this is a spirit talking. This is something that you have to prove it to me, and I'll be the one to say yes. I feel she would be a spirit guide.
Yes.
Because of, not just how she passed, but who she was, being strong. Mm-hmm. Maybe a little bossy.
Well, even her best friend called her bossy.
Yeah, and
she was like, and that's in the best way. She just would be like, no, you need to do this. This is good for you, and we all need somebody like that in our lives, whether we like it or not, when they boss us around. We know we need it. And, she definitely is she's very busy. She's very busy on the other side, doing a lot of spirit guide work. She definitely is making sure she takes care of those babies, and they're right there with her, and she's helping guide them along. And as usual, they're her life even now. And, she has little Nico and everybody with her, and she, I keep hearing I'll stalk who I need to stalk, and I know who I need to stalk. So I think she has a list of people she knows that need those little pushes in life. And, she truly loved so many, and so many loved her, that she's almost like, oh, I got to check in with so-and-so. I got to check in. So it's almost like she does a lot of pop-ins to be like, okay, you guys haven't burned your house down. You're eating. You're working. Okay, life is good. So she's doing a lot of check-ins. That's for sure.
Okay, this is kind of an interesting one here. Locally, we're going to bounce back to some local stuff.
Local.
Okay. Nicole's asking, has there been any spirits that... Okay. Has there been any spirits that were murdered that came to you for help my investigation? Similar to the show The Medium. So, basically, has anyone reached out? I said it. I hate saying that. Has any
spirit made me say it?
Huh?
Were you possessed? Yeah, well, there was the one girl in Longmont, and I feel horrible because I can't remember her name. Remember I told you I kept hearing from her?
Mm-hmm. And then,
And they ended up finding who did it. They have not recovered her body yet. And I don't think he's telling them. But she kept showing me just little snapshots of where she was and things like that. And it's really hard because you can't really call up cops and be like, hey, guess what I saw? No, in my head.
Yeah.
And especially somewhere like Colorado, and have them accept that and understand that, because that was not something they would have handled very well. I would have been a first suspect on the list. I'd have been drug in, handcuffed, and questioned.
Yeah, I don't remember the whole spiel with that.
No, she went out. It was downtown Longmont. She went out, like left the kids with grandma to go out with some friends. Went out, was hanging out, and then she was gone. And then it was, you know, they didn't know who she left with. They didn't have nobody, even downtown Longmont, that whole strip. She was in one of those bars down there.
Yeah.
And
were we living up there?
No, we were in Arvada at that time.
Oh, okay, but then we
were living in Old Town.
Okay.
Arvada. But like she would pop up for me.
And did the case go cold or did it?
No, they found the guy who did it and admitted to doing it, but wouldn't tell him where a body is. So they still don't have a body.
Oh, Jesus.
But at least they arrested him.
Yeah.
And he's in custody.
Yeah, at least they're
he's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And then I had the one that I had called on jury duty.
Yeah.
That was a rough one, and we'll go to that one of these times. But that was a really hard one for me personally.
Yeah. Let's see. So Nicole is thumbs up, and then Vanessa, who's been asking about
Chris Watts,
the Watts family, or at least we'll say the Shanann and the kids, because he doesn't deserve to speak his name. She says, "Thank you so much for answering. I've had questions for so long. I just wanted her to know that I appreciate her and her family and hope they are doing well."
Oh, that's beautiful. And that's honestly, even if it's just standing, you know, I keep getting it's a stand up for yourself lesson. It's a push. It's a take care of yourself. She feels that, you know, more women need to be upfront and say, no, this is what I want. This is what I deserve. And, you know, I truly can feel her energy and so much warmth. Just even talking about her and the babies, and they're doing wonderfully, and they're so happy. And I can hear the babies; they're going crazy. They're hyper. The cat. Notice the cat has not been over near me the whole time. I don't think the cat's a fan of the babies, but they're doing so well, and they're all just so sweet and so beautiful, and so is she. And you know, it's one of those things. It's like, you know, the world is definitely a sadder place without you. We miss you, but also, I'm glad that you guys are never going to be able to be hurt again. You guys are safe, and well, no one's ever going to forget any of you. No one ever will. And we're always going to be thinking of you and your beauty. You know, she wants us to remember the good things. Just don't worry about the old house. Don't worry about the old this, the old that. She's where she needs to be. She's where matters. And she's taking care of what matters, which is her and the girls and little Nico. So that is amazing to be able to know that she's just so happy. And the babies are crazy. But babies are crazy. So, did we have any other comments? Because I think we're getting about ready to wrap it up here. We do plan on doing this. Do you want to do it?
Every other week?
Every other week, I think.
Yeah, because then that was this week. And then next week we'll be doing the big group.
Yeah, the big group, the More Than Morbid group.
Yeah.
Which I'll link in this group just because, and most of you came from that group anyways, but I'll link it just because they're amazing and they're super fun. One thing also with this group, you guys feel free to post up about cases or anything. I mean, it's not just a stage for me. Obviously, yes, this is my job and all of that, but, you know, this is a place where we can just come and be weird, respect each other, love each other, and, you know, if you want to put up a post to honor Shanann and the girls and talk about something that you learned about them that you treasure in your heart as an adorable moment or a wonderful moment for them, that's what we need to do. We need to start celebrating their lives and not celebrating
their passing.
Yeah.
we're going to celebrate their lives. We're not going to exemplify their passing.
Do you mind? Okay, so I'm getting yelled at. It is time to close up. I want to thank everybody so much. And of course, obviously I don't charge for these, but I do have my link in the description below me for tips. And if you feel like tipping me, that would be amazing. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And if you have any suggestions, just go ahead and post it up. Bye, guys.